Democratic gubernatorial candidate Nikki Fried held a campaign stop in Orlando, Florida on Thursday. In an emotional moment during the event, a woman began to cry and told Fried, quote, "You're the first time I've ever had hope in 10 years. Fried, who is Florida's agriculture commissioner, is in a primary battle with former Governor Charlie Crist, a Republican turned Democrat. Fried in recent weeks has sought to paint incumbent Governor Ron DeSantis as an extremist. On Thursday, she vowed to make DeSantis, quote, a one-term governor and a zero-term president of the United States.
So first of all, I have skydived, but I have always making sure that I have not just my nets, right, but I have what's going to keep me from falling onto the ground. Right. But I can't thank you all enough for being here tonight. We've got less than 1 week. We've got less than 1 week to bring all the people of our state together. Because Kamara's right. This election isn't about me. This election is about you all. And the faces that I see in this crowd are faces that have not had necessarily a voice, not a seat at the table, that have been marginalized, have been forgotten, have not had that voice. And that's what this campaign has been about. The first week of our running for office, we went to the Alianza offices and kicked off our Nikki Escucha tour, our Nikki Listens tour. And we spent the entire year traveling all over the state, talking to our Muslim community, talking to our Puerto Rican community, our Venezuelan community, our Colombian community, our gay community, our senior community, our females, and everybody in between. And we asked one simple question: what is on your mind? What are the issues that are keeping you up at night? What are the issues that you're talking to your family members about, and your families and your friends? And when we came back, it was the same consistent drumbeat. Florida has become unaffordable. No one's listening to us. From our black community, we're hearing that white politicians continue to come back to us and talk about two issues: gun violence and criminal justice reform. And I said, that's got to stop. We got to make sure we're talking about economic opportunities. We got to make sure that we're creating a state that is looking at everybody, that everybody's got that opportunity. And so when I know that when we win in August 23rd and we take our fight in November, that we are going to make Ron DeSantis a one-term governor and a zero-term president of the United States. And you know, talking about the money, I've said in that same Public Reporter, I don't need the money, I've got the people. Because the people are going to be with us every single day. And so every single day, people say, what gives you the motivation to get up? Because it is hard out here. It is hard out here in a very polarized political system. It is hard being out here, being a female candidate. You know, I think yesterday there was conversations about a wet t-shirt contest. That is what we see out here. But you know what gives me hope? What gives me inspiration? Her. She gives me hope and inspiration. Because let me tell you how many little girls and little boys I have met on this campaign trail. And you, and you, and you. And because we have messed this up, so we've got to do better for them. And so every day I wake up and I say, how can I make sure that we are providing a state that they don't have to go into a war zone inside of their classrooms, that they don't have to be doing active shooting drills, that we don't have 9,500 teacher shortages, that we don't have a jail and prison system that is failing the people that are living there, that we don't have a system that doesn't have air conditioning. It is hot. We're sweating right now. Can you imagine living in a prison and not having air? But this is what's happening in our state. And this is what's happening in our country. And I've said this 1,000,001 times. My mom is a die-hard Democrat. She was a teacher for 25 years. And most of my teachers. My dad, he's a die-hard Republican. We pray a lot for him. It's all right. But what they taught me collectively is, in the Jewish faith, we call it tikkun olam, to heal the world. So every single day for my entire life, I have woken up and said, how can I do better? That's why I shunned private practice to become a public defender. It's why I fought for our homeowners during the foreclosure crisis. It's why I fought for our foster care kids. And that's why I've been so hard on Charlie during this primary. Because I know what's on the line. And if we don't win in November, I know who loses. They lose. So we can't lose. We've got to get up every day and fight for them. And I know that we are going to beat DeSantis in November, but we do have a primary to first get through. And let me tell you, defending judges who have taken away black congressional districts, who have gone and overturning Roe v. Wade, and somebody who's taken money from the NRA is not healing the world. And so I know that the coalition that we have built across our state, the platform that we have built across the state, is your platform. And we're seeing that momentum everywhere we go. No matter where we go, we were in Panama City 3 days ago. I was in Lake City 2 weeks ago. We are crisscrossing the state and bringing that hope and that inspiration to everybody. And everybody keeps asking me this question. Who is best to beat Ron DeSantis?
Nikki Fried.
And let me tell you why that is the case. I think it was a Washington Post reporter that said earlier this week that you've got somebody in your primary. And so where's my baseball players? Anybody play baseball?
Long time ago.
Some of you. That the person in my primary is kind of like a slow pitch over the base. But I'm the curveball. And that's how we're going to win. Because Ron DeSantis has been canceling cabinet meetings all year. Well, guess when there's a cabinet meeting? On Election Day. Why do we think that is? Because he's scared of us. He's scared of the coalition that we are building. And so after we win on Tuesday, how we're going to beat him in November? One, we have the people. But there's two issues. One is freedom. This Harvard and Yale educated guy doesn't understand what freedom means. Doesn't understand that when you take away a woman's right to choose, that is not freedom. When you take away people's rights to vote, that is not freedom. When you take away people's rights to protest, that is not freedom. When you take away our teachers' rights to teach history, that is not freedom. And when you suspend a prosecutor, that is not freedom. So we're going to teach them what freedom actually means. The second reason why we're going to win is because of the unaffordability crisis that's happening in our state. While he has spent the last 3 years dividing us, teaching us about hatred, and spewing lies every single day, going after our black community, going after our immigrant community, going after our gay community, anybody who doesn't look like him, sound like him, talk like him, he has silenced. That is how we're going to win, because we're going to give people hope. We're going to have a plan of how to make sure that we're lowering your cost of living while also raising your standards. And we are going to try something new. We're going to try something new for that teacher who just wants to teach. Something new for that black entrepreneur who is fighting in a rigged system. Something new for every little girl who has fought against tyranny. Something new for that single mom who just wants to be able to pay for her rent. That is what we are going to do. And that is the type of inspiration that this campaign is building all over the state. I am seeing it. I am feeling it. And you know how we're also going to win? Women. Women are going to do this. Because I know that you all saw that University of North Florida, and as a Gator, I hate to say this, but UNF is right on this one. That UNF is showing us up 4 points. We have been feeling it on the ground for months. But to see it in the paper, to see it coming out in the numbers, is just validating what we feel. Because I bet none of you have been polled. But the feeling and energy that we see here and are seeing across our state is how we're going to win. And we are 20 points ahead of both Charlie and Ron when it comes to the female population. So women are going to turn out, women are going to vote, and all of our allies are going to stand side by side with us. So I want to try something. Every woman in this crowd, raise your hand. Every male that supports these women, raise your hands. This is what democracy looks like. This is what a united front looks like. And this is how we are going to make history by electing the first female governor of the state of Florida. Thank you. Thank you, Central Florida. Thank you. 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 Thank you.